It was a night in London that shattered silence like brittle glass. My name is Aisha, and 2 months ago I moved into Belgravia, where a historic pub called the Grenadier sits quietly. They say it's the UK's most haunted pub, haunted by a spirit named Cedric. One evening I went there with friends. Inside, the lighting was dim, the furniture old wood, the walls covered in faded paintings and silence as if the building itself held its breath. Suddenly, a cold draft swept in, though no window was open. Then the taps turned on by themselves, water spilling endlessly. We pulled out our phones. In a photo, a faint figure appeared, hazy but undeniable, standing against the wall. My heart raced. I showed my friend, but when he looked, the figure had already vanished. Staff told us Cedric was mischievous. He locks doors, turns taps, moves sofas. Some guests claim ghostly faces appear in their photos. That night, one question echoed in my mind. Could this truly be a ghost? Was that Cedric trapped in the walls with forgotten secrets? And would he appear again? The next day I returned. As I entered, the air grew heavy. When I sat near the bar, the chair slid back on its own. In the corner, an old mirror reflected a shadow behind me. I turned, as no one, only in the mirror. My phone picked up a whisper. Leave. Leave this place. I asked a staff member, is Cedric really here? He said, you're lucky he's only shown himself. Chills ran down my spine. Then suddenly my phone screen lit up by itself, showing the same figure now closer. That night I couldn't sleep. Every dream showed the shadow. Finally, I decided to spend the night in the upstairs room, said to be the most haunted spot in the pub. The light was dim. I started recording on my phone and lay on the bed. Soon the door creaked open. No one there. The room grew icy cold. And then, a shadow emerged. Not in the mirror, but standing before me. Tall, faceless, its eyes nothing but black voids. My phone zoomed in on its own, recording closer and closer. The microphone captured another voice. You were warned. There is no turning back. The light went out. I felt a cold hand grip my wrist. My heart pounded wildly. When the light flickered back on, the room was empty. But on the floor, burned into the wood, was a handprint. A human handprint, identical to mine. After that night, I promised myself I would never go back to the Grenadier pub. I thought it was over once I returned home. But around 2 a.m., a loud bang hit my bedroom window, like someone struck it from outside. I jumped awake. Nothing was there. When I turned on the light, I froze. On my wall was the same burned handprint I had seen on the pub's floor. I grabbed my phone with shaking hands and hit record. Suddenly, that same heavy voice filled the room. You thought it would end here? You were wrong. Then my wardrobe creaked open on its own. The darkness inside looked endless, like it led somewhere else entirely. And from that darkness, the two glowing red eyes appeared. They were staring at me. My phone slipped from my hands, still recording. The last thing it captured was the shadowy figure sitting on my bed, only inches away from me. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. And then everything went black. After that night, I was falling apart, sleepless, haunted by those red eyes. I finally reached out to a local priest. When I told him everything, he went silent, then said, "This is no ordinary spirit. It has attached itself to you." He insisted on performing an exorcism. The next night, he came to my house. The room was prepared, candles lit, prayers began. At first, silence, but soon the air grew heavy. The lights flickered out, the candles snuffed one by one. Then came the whisper, "She is mine, no one can stop me." My body began to shake violently. I collapsed to the floor. The burned mark on my hand deepened, glowing like fire under my skin. The priest prayed louder, but the walls trembled, windows rattled, and the door slammed shut. Then, the shadow appeared behind me, larger, closer than ever. It glared at the priest and growled, "She belongs to me, you're too late." The room shook like an earthquake, and I blacked out. When I woke up, the room was empty. The priest was gone. Only a burned Bible lay on the floor.